Hi, I'm Kelly Thornton, Director of Public Relations for Cryptic, and I am here today with the launch of our Instagram Live series. This is something that over the next couple of months we are going to take part in and hopefully provide you all with some education on everything from new products and features to technology to information on some industry VIPs and celebrities and everything else from A to Z. So today we also are going to launch a giveaway, and we'll do that with each of our Instagram Live series events. And our giveaway today happens to be a Slumberjack backpack, which, sorry, is right behind me. This backpack will be announced at the end of our Instagram Live forum today. So be sure and stay tuned till the end to find out if you are the lucky winner of this backpack. With me today is Dustin Crandall. Dustin is the CEO of Rocky Mountain Precision Rifles. They're based out of Colorado, and he also has his master builder with us today, Dave Witt. And welcome, Dustin. It's nice to have you back to Idaho.
Great to be here.
Thank you. And congratulations, Dustin and his wife Tanya just had a baby girl, and so new member to the Cryptic family.
Yep. No, she's definitely a blessing for sure, but
excellent.
Definitely a handful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about the company and the offerings that you all provide to the market, and we'll start with telling our viewers a little bit about Rocky Mountain Precision Rifles.
Yeah. So. Kind of going back, we've always had a passion for the outdoors and hunting and rifles and shooting and long range shooting especially. And so with about 10 years experience in kind of doing rifle builds as a hobby, I've actually got a background in construction. We've done a lot of custom homes and production homes and stuff like that. And so about 2 years ago, really kind of brought the fruition of RMP rifles, and kind of what brought that along was that I broke my leg really bad on a lion hunt that we were doing, and kind of just sitting there on the couch with nothing to do, and really kind of brought to my mind, like, what am I doing with my life, for one, and two, why don't I do something that I want to do, because life's too short. And I think if we have the opportunity, I think everybody should try to do that. And so RMP Rifles started, and so one of the things that we wanted to do was build custom long range rifles, and kind of become our motto has become precisely accurate, and so that's what we strive to achieve.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're super excited at Cryptic because we've partnered up with you guys, and you guys are now producing some custom rifles with the Cryptic brand. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the rifles that we have in front of us.
Yep. So we've got the Select Series rifle, and then we've got an Elite Series rifle. At the end of the day, they're the same build. So the rifles, as far as the platform goes, the way that they're constructed, the rifles are built exactly the same. What makes the big difference in the Elite Series is the Elite Series is essentially like our Cadillac of all of the rifles. So what that means is that it comes fully loaded with very few options. One of the options being the detachable mag, one of the very few options. And so when you look at our website, there's the Elite Series is going to come. Cerakote is essentially it's included in the price. The Cryptic Altitude pattern is only available in the Elite Series, and the Cryptic Altitude also has a two-tone Cerakote, and the Elite Series is also coming with the Spartan bipod now.
Those are very cool.
Yeah, we've kind of partnered up with those guys here in the last year, and they make a great product, and so we want to try to promote them by including it with one of our rifles. And so another big component to the Elite Series rifles is that they include 50 rounds of custom loaded ammo. And when I mean custom, every single barrel is different. So you could have, let's say both of these rifles had a 24-inch barrel, and they're both 28 nozzlers, and the barrel contour is the same, the twist rate's the same. Well, they may not shoot the same load. So we've got to fine tune that load to where, it's actually customized to that gun. And so that's kind of what we do. And part of that load development is typically we put about 100 rounds through the rifle. And what that does is two things. One, it kind of goes through more of a break-in process than what we typically do. So the break-in process that we would typically do, like let's say on this rifle, would be like 25 rounds, and it's a mechanical process of getting the machine marks out of the barrel, out of the throat of the barrel. So with this, is we try to, typically a barrel will kind of speed up around 100, 150 rounds, and we try to get the rifle to that point, so that way when it gets to the customer, it hopefully has reached that point, and they're not going to all of a sudden see a 50 foot per second increase in their barrel. So with that load development, one of the things that we do, since we treat it as a long range rifle, we do what we would call like an optimal charge weight. So we find that charge weight, and that way at a longer range you're going to have less vertical in your shot placements. And we also obviously try to get the tightest group possible. Right. And so part of that is if we're shooting a 1/4 inch group with this rifle, or smaller sometimes, then we try to leave room for error in the field. And we all know that, like, when you're hunting, it's not a perfect situation. You may not have the perfect setup, or so if you have a 1/4 inch gun, it may turn into a 3/4 inch gun, which if you had a 1 inch gun, it may turn into a 2 inch gun.
Right.
So we try to kind of leave that, and that's why we think it's precisely accurate.
I think it's really cool that you guys, and correct me, but is it just with the Elite Series that you offer that instruction in the field? Yep.
And so the Elite Series comes with everything. So part of our deal too is that we do sorry, I forgot what I was saying here. Part of our deal is that we actually do, with the Elite Series, comes with a 2-day training.
Okay.
And so the 2-day training is essentially kind of get to know your rifle. Mm-hmm. And so we believe that you're making a pretty good investment in a rifle, and with that investment, obviously you want to be able to use it. So you want to make sure that your shots in the field are going to count. You want to make sure you're confident. And so we believe that in order to do that, then you need some training.
Right.
Yep.
And now,
that's
with your
not
Select,
standard.
It's not standard on the Select
Mm-hmm.
Series? Okay. And the Select Series, so this is the one that you can truly customize each and every aspect.
So the Select Series essentially is, we've had a lot of guys who have contacted us saying, hey, we want to do our own load development, we want to do this, we want different options. So we came out with the Select Series, and essentially it's at the end of the day, it's almost the same rifle, but it gives you the ability to start at a lower price point and add things such as the muzzle brake. Cerakote's an option, the triggers are an option. So it kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility in the build than you would have in the Elite Series. Not to say that you couldn't do some of the things in the Elite Series, but we try to create the Elite Series and make a rifle that is like top of the line. It basically has all the bells and whistles that you would want.
Now, with both of these, no matter whether it's the Select or the Elite, are both of these rifles suppressor ready, or is it just the Elite?
Yep.
Okay.
And so every barrel, the Select Series comes standard with a threaded barrel with a thread protector on the end of it. Mm-hmm. And then the Elite Series comes with a threaded barrel with a brake, so essentially like what you would see here.
Correct.
This particular rifle here, the customer wanted a special brake on it, which is for the Thunder Beast. So it's for a specific type of suppressor, and that's one of the things that we can do as a custom option.
Now, what is the lead time if somebody wants to order one of these rifles?
So the lead time will vary. Right now we're about 6 to 8 weeks out on a select series, depending on options. On an elite series where we've got to do low development, it's closer to like 10 to 12 weeks.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay. And then I know we had a couple of questions while we've been talking. One in particular was, is there a particular type of ammo that you use to test with?
So we're fairly open to different types of ammo. There's certain types of bullets, let's say, that we use, and we use a lot of Burger bullets. We use a lot of Hornady bullets, and so kind of going that route, those are kind of our two main bullets of choice. And when you get into the realm of, we may have special requests for other types of bullets, and we will definitely use them, and we're open to that. Sometimes barrels just don't like certain bullets,
Right.
And we try our best, and we definitely obviously know what we're doing. So if it doesn't like that bullet for some reason, we'll let the customer know and say, hey, we got these other options. What do you want to do?
And I guess too, even cleaning obviously makes a difference too.
Yep.
And I've always been told that you should clean your barrel every time after use. What is your recommendation on that?
So we've been really big into cleaning. It's been part of our process for a long time. We've been big into bench rest shooting, and in that world of things, shooters can be pretty anal about their rifle, and it's got to be clean, and it's everything's got to be perfect. And so we kind of take that into mind, but we've also got to consider people who are out in the field and they're hunting, and they still want to achieve that precision and accuracy. And so we've tried both methods. Kind of what we've always recommended is every 25 to 50 rounds that you clean your barrel. And now we're kind of trying some new methods where we don't clean the barrel at all. Pretty much we'll do the break-in, and which requires different processes of cleaning and brushing and everything else. But pretty much after break-in, we've tried on a few rifles where we don't clean them at all, and they may go 200-300 rounds without cleaning them. And some barrels will perform the same way as they did when they were just fouled.
Right.
And so some barrels will not. Like this particular rifle likes to be cleaned every 30 rounds. This one here every 100, 150 rounds. So every barrel's a little bit different.
Yeah, so I guess the wise thing to do would be to get out to the range and just, fire as many rounds as possible and see what works best.
Know your rifle, and one of the things, I think one of the questions came up that somebody asked about, what was it about what caliber do we recommend?
Oh, for the cross canyon shooting?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that varies. Pretty much our favorite caliber is a 6.5 Creedmoor up to a certain range, and really what the whole thing about that brings into question is the ethics, and okay, well, how far are you going to shoot?
Exactly. And
what caliber are you shooting? Well, if I'm shooting to 1,200 yards, I may choose a 300 Ultra Mag or a 28 Nosler or a 7 Mag,
a larger,
300 Win Mag or something like that. But if I'm going to go beyond that, then in my mind I feel like I need something bigger, because ethically I don't want to make a shot on something that's not going to have enough energy to get to that point and kill the animal,
Yeah,
ethically.
You want something that you're confident that when you place that shot, it's gonna.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you don't want to definitely wound something, and then that really, on those longer range shots, sometimes that happens, and you may not have time to make a follow-up shot. You need to make sure that you know your rifle. And it's a huge thing, is that just because you can hit a steel plate at a mile doesn't mean that you should be shooting an elk at a mile or a deer at a mile.
Exactly. Well, and I think, like Africa is a great example of that, now in that particular, when we talk about African hunting, what do you recommend as far as like a rifle goes for that you guys produce? Would you go with the Elite series?
Yeah, so when it comes to that, we've tried to develop a series called the Kodiak series, and it's still kind of developing, but the Kodiak series essentially is designed to tailor to people who want a larger caliber,
like your
which
goat
would be
hunters,
like a 375 H&H or a 338 ROM, 338 Win Mag, or 338 Lapua or 300. So we've kind of tried to tailor that particular series to those types of hunters. And generally on anything under typically like 500 yards, if that's as far as that rifle is going to be shot, there's not a huge need to do any kind of load development on it, because if you do get any kind of variation, typically you're going to get that variation and it's going to be within the kill zone of an animal. So
exactly,
there's not a whole lot of reason to do load development on that.
Okay. And I think we had a couple of questions on the barrel break-in, which we've kind of covered that.
Yep.
Anything else that you think is something that you would like the viewers to know about?
Yeah, and I think there was a question on trigger weight.
Yeah.
And so on the trigger weight, typically we try to set everything at a pound and a half or heavier in a hunting situation. And that being said, is that sometimes we get requests like, hey, set my trigger at a pound or set my trigger. Most of the triggers that we do use are an adjustable trigger as far as pound weight goes. So like on the Elite series, you'll either get the options are the Timney Elite, the Timney Calvin Elite, which is this trigger, and it's fully adjustable from, I believe it's 8 ounces up to like 3 or 4 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
And then there's also the Trigger Tech Diamond, which so you can get standard either or.
Okay.
And then in the Select series, you would get the so I think that trigger there is the Timney standard 510 trigger.
Okay.
And so it's preset, it's not adjustable, and that's kind of like the baseline. And then you can choose the diamond trigger, you can choose the Elite trigger.
Right.
It's just an option, and it's kind of goes back to starting at that lower price point for guys that that may not matter to them. Maybe they like a heavier trigger.
What about like for somebody that's, let's say, a new hunter, but they really want to have a custom built rifle? Would you start them with the Select series?
Yeah, depending on, obviously, budget's a factor.
Right.
And then there's certain options. If some guy says, hey, I want this rifle, I'm planning on shooting at nothing further than, let's say, 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of options on the Select series that would get you to that point.
Okay.
So.
And then optics, I guess, is that really kind of a personal preference?
Yeah. So optics, we've got quite a few as far as on a drop down menu on the options for a rifle, but and we've kind of tried to weed out some of the optics that would be like the best suited for a long range application or a long range hunting application. And you may find that there's not an optic listed on there, and so we can always get a different optic for, like let's say some guy wants a Schmidt and Bender, and I know that it's not listed on there, but we can definitely get those things. We can definitely get any optics that somebody would want on them.
Well, tell the viewers, Dustin, if they're interested in purchasing a rifle, how can they get a hold of you?
Yep. So you can visit our website. It's www.rmprifles.com, and on there is a contact section, contact us. Just fill out your information and hit send. And then if you want to email me directly, it's dustin@rmprifles.com or sales@rmprifles.com.
Well, Dustin, we want to thank you for being here, and thank Dave
Thank
too.
you, Connie.
And you guys are here from an instruction class that you're giving tomorrow and Sunday. So
Yep.
good luck with that.
Thank you.
And please give our best to your lovely wife Tanya. And guys, join us in the next couple of weeks. We're going to continue the series. Our next one will be with our CEO here at Cryptic, Butch Whiting. We'll talk about brand. We'll talk about Battlefield to Backcountry. And we'll hear his most recent adventure to the coastal Alaska for brown bear, which he was extremely successful and took a magnificent brown bear. So really excited to hear from him, and we look forward to seeing you all again. And congratulations to Campus Waterfowl. Campus Waterfowl, you are the lucky winner of the Slumberjack backpack in the Cryptic Highlander pattern. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you.